You're represented by Attorney Justin White. You're before the court for criminal trespass and obstruction of an officer. Mr. White, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Guilty to count one, Your Honor.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty to count one, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Understand all of these things?
May I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the deal if I plead guilty to all my charges?
Is what?
What is the deal if I plead guilty to these charges that I'm in court for today right now?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. White. Repeat her question for me because I'm having trouble hearing it. There's crackling.
Can you give me 1 second, Your Honor?
Uh-huh.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Sequoia is kind of mistaken what's going on. She has a case that goes in front of Judge Malone where Miss Malone had a discussion with me where she wanted Sequoia to volunteer to do her behavior program. And I told Sequoia it would be best to plead guilty for one of those charges that was in front of Miss Malone, that goes in front of Judge Malone. And
Okay.
that's the reason why she's getting confused, because this right here, the previous DA, before she resigned from the position, she noted that these charges supposed to have been dropped because Sequoia had been into behavior. And
Okay,
she supposed
hold
to get
on.
13.
Let me ask her attorney, Mr. White. Miss Sims, Miss Lynn's mother says Sequoia was supposed to be participating in Judge Malone's behavioral court program upstairs, and that these charges should have been wrapped up and sent up there, or these should have been dismissed down here for treatment up there. But I have no clue about that because I didn't get that information.
I'm not sure about that either, Your Honor. I didn't get any information.
She said that maybe that's why Sequoia is asking about what she's pleading guilty to, because one of the recommendations, I guess, from Judge Malone was if she pled guilty up there, she would go into the behavioral health program, the behavioral health court. Solicitor Andrews, did you have any information about that?
Your Honor, I'm not aware of that, and I was just reviewing the file. I'm not familiar with that.
I went to court for Sequoia on January the 10th, where she went where I went in front of Judge Malone. At that time of Sequoia court date, she was reported to the police missing. They had to do a medical call on her. Speak with Judge Malone, she told me that the recommendation about Sequoia being volunteering for her behavior court, but like I said, at the time she was reported missing. I have the police report numbers and everything. That's why she's still detained at Clayton County, because she's being held with 2 FTAs for not showing up for court. And the reason why, right? She said, and I explained to Judge Malone that she went missing after she was actually taken. And Judge Malone said, so what was going to happen? She was going to do an FTA. So if the police come across her, they would bring her in for my safety and Sequoia's safety, but she wouldn't provoke her bond. She told me it was like 2 different things.
Yeah, I get that. So what we do is she'll do a bond, a bench warrant, but not a bond forfeiture. So you get to keep your bond. Okay, so I get that, and I see that you're on the bond. So this is what I'm willing to do is continue her, whatever happens with Judge Malone. I'm willing to continue the case for a couple of weeks if she's still in jail on Judge Malone's stuff. If Judge Malone has the ability to get her into behavioral health court, I would prefer that as opposed to us trying to get something done down here. Now, Mr. White, that's up between you and Miss Lynn, because that's your client. But if she's going to be sitting in jail anyway for Judge Malone, and Judge Malone has the ability to give her behavioral health treatment, I would prefer that.
Well, Your Honor, I know she had charges up in Superior Court. I know that her next court date, I believe, is February 21st, if I'm correct. So it may be best to just wait until that court date.
What am I on hold for in jail right now that I don't know?
So, Miss Lynn?
Sure.
Miss Lynn? So, Miss Lynn, my understanding. Yeah, let me tell you. So you see Judge Malone upstairs. Your next opportunity to see Judge Malone is the 21st of February. So what I'm willing to do is wait until you see Judge Malone, so you don't go up there with a conviction or a guilty. Judge Malone has the ability to provide some services that might help you down here and up there, okay? So I would like to wait on this case for Judge Malone to do her case.
And so, Ms. Lynn, you're coming.
I might have to explain it to her, Your Honor, because she gets confused. Is that okay if I explain what you just said to her?
Sure. Mr. White, her mom wanted to explain what was going on, if that's okay.
I'm telling you myself, I'm not guilty
Well,
of nothing.
hold on, Ms. Lynn.
No.
Bring Miss Lynn a little bit closer to the computer.
Step up a little bit, Miss, not to the computer. No, step up.
No, sir.
There you go,
Hey.
so you can hear better. All right,
Hey, so
go ahead, Miss Sims.
yes, ma'am. Hey, Sequoia, what Judge Hayward is trying to say is like what we discussed. You know, you still held and being detained for the two FTAs. So you do have a court date on February the 21st to see Judge Malone.
Right state of mind.
Hold on.
Let her finish.
No, you don't have to plead guilty down here, Sequoia, because you go to Judge Malone, the one who's over the behavior program that you talked about. You remember, it's like,
I'm listening now. I have nothing else to say. I was in the right state of mind. I didn't know I had a court date. Also, I'm not guilty of
Right.
none of
Hold
the
on, Ms.
okay, no, Sequoia, that's what Judge Hayward is saying. She does it. That's why we stopping you. We don't want you out.
No guilty plea.
You don't want to. It's no guilty plea, Sequoia.
No
You don't
guilty
have to
plea,
plead
Sequoia.
guilty.
Yeah,
Okay,
no
so
guilty
you don't
plea.
have to worry. You going upstairs to actually see Judge Malone, the judge you supposed to see that day. You remember when I went to court for you and you was missing. She's the one we gonna try to get you into her behavior program because she said she would love to have you. So you do not have to plead out today. Your case
No
is
guilty plea,
go
ma'am.
up to her. Okay, it's just a couple more days, Sequoia. Then you be in front of Judge Malone. Okay.
I heard you the 21st, the 26th.
Yeah,
Today.
the 21st. No guilty plea here.
It's just the 21st. Yeah.
All right, because I don't want you to think you're getting a guilty plea. No guilty plea, okay? All right, so yeah, let's send Miss Lynn back down, and then we're gonna hold this case until at least next month. We'll Camille, if you can make a note that this case shouldn't be reset until sometime in March.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
then-
And
Yes, Ms. Sims.
they was trying, sorry, Your Honor. They was trying to go ahead and get everything combined because
Well,
it's coming from me, my household.
I get that, Ms. Sims. So what I'm saying is we reset to March, but that'll give them time if they want to pull these charges up, they can.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So we'll give them enough time to where if they want to combine everything and Judge Malone handles it upstairs, I have no problem with that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Ms. Sims. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, ma'am.
I have a different recommendation. It's on the PIA. It's just credit for time. So 12 months to serve 90 days from October 5th until January 5th. The balance suspended. That's what I have as the recommendation. It's on the PIA.
Wait. So let me ask these questions, which Han, because I think you Mr. Lissimore trying to pull a fast one on me. The mother of this child he's about to have, what's her name?
It's completely different person, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
I do have I'm sorry, Your Honor. Go ahead.
But I still, who's Katrina McQueen? Wait a minute. He's accusing one woman of cheating on him, but he got another one pregnant. Is this what I'm saying? What I'm hearing? Mr. Lissimore.
It's an old list from 2020.
It's
Yeah.
what?
So this is his ex-girlfriend that was involved in the case from 2020. He's since gotten in a new relationship. And so that's who I was referring to, that's expecting. And they've since been engaged. Mr. Lissimore has moved on, and he no longer has any contact with the victim in that case.
Mr. Lissimore, there's a ton of people who engaged and they never get married. They just walk around. That's my fiance. That's my fiance because it sounds good. Sir, you're about to be a father. Is this your first child?
No, ma'am. No, Your Honor.
How many kids you?
This is our second child. We about to expect our second child.
Okay. And you still trying to be fiance, never consider that at some point you might need to sit down, make a family, build a household together instead of just popping by to drop a baby.
That's what I'm doing with this currently in this relationship that I'm with. We're expecting our second child. I don't have no child with the victim in this case.
Well, why are we having all these children before we can establish a marital relationship? I know it sounds old fashioned, but there's some benefits to it. But everybody thinks, yeah, we all right, but we ain't serious, like marriage serious. But them same people have 4 and 5 kids. I don't understand it. Mr. Lissimore, I want more for you than to be a baby daddy.
Right.
Children deserve fathers. They deserve the people who gonna be there when they sick. They deserve the people who, when the mama is working and the school say somebody got to pick me up, daddy comes and picks them up. They've got to make sure that if she got a fever, you just can take a temperature just like the mama can take a temperature. Children need fathers. They don't need baby daddies who proud that they got kids, but they're not there in the children's lives. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Lissimore?
Mm.
So I had a baby daddy, but I got a father when my mom married my stepdad. And that father has been there for me my whole life. So what I'm saying to you is don't just be a baby daddy bragging about the fact that you got kids, but if they got sick 2 nights ago, you don't even know it because you wasn't there. You got me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So Solicitor Andrews, did you have any comments about the 12 months, 90 days balance suspended recommendation?
No, that is correct. My legal assistant was able to confirm that's correct. I do apologize.
Oh, no problem. So I know y'all switching files and I'm real patient with y'all. So Mr. Lissimore, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo. I'll send you to 12 months to serve 90 days. Balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. Mr. Lissimore, don't just be a baby daddy. Go out there and be a father. We're clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's a clear difference. All right?
And Your Honor, just to confirm, he's gotten credit for the time incarcerated from October 5th, 2023 through until January 5th, 2024.
Yeah, credit for time served.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty.
All right.
And Mr. Lissimore, y'all have conversations. Don't go snatching each other's phones. Have conversations. That's how relationships work. Don't go, oh, I saw something in your phone. Don't do that. That's immature. Okay?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. I hope so. I hope you've grown up. All righty. All right. So, Miss Adams, tell me why you would risk going back to jail for some weed.
I mean, I can't really give an excuse other than what I had really going on. It wasn't really an excuse, so I don't really have anything to back it up. I didn't want to go back to jail. This happened in like 2020, this actual case. But
Well, I get the actual case, but what I'm saying is if I sentenced you in August and said, hey, no alcohol or illicit drugs, and I say that all the time, so I've memorized the speech, I don't understand why you wouldn't understand that I meant marijuana. Like, was I not clear? Help me help you.
No, ma'am. It wasn't that it was like anything intentional. I honestly think that something that a gummy or something my GM had, she said that it was made with the same ingredient that's kind of in like a hemp plant. So I think that's what it was. But I just haven't been
Well, okay, first of all, A, you putting your liberty in somebody else's hands because you trust in somebody else to keep you out of jail. B, if you're trying to get the same high using something else, you still got the same problem, ma'am. There's all kinds of stuff out here. You don't know what's going to test with what. And they're putting fentanyl and all kind of crazy stuff that people are making up in labs. They're putting that in everything now. So you run out of here. They were talking about something called Delta 8. You run out here and get you some Delta 8, think you're not getting marijuana, but you're going to get the same high. They're talking about people who have permanent psychosis, meaning they have lost their minds and they're going to have to be institutionalized because they're out here doing drugs, just buying stuff that they, want to try. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Now, y'all young people, do what you do, but I'm not going to trust somebody else giving me something they done made up somewhere talking about, take it. It's all right. Trying to assure me that it's not going to show up on a test, but we don't know what's in it. All right, so defendant shall have 5 days revoked and shall receive credit for time served. Defendant shall return to probation and test for alcohol and illegal drugs at each report, and she shall complete community service by April 15th of 2024. All other conditions will still be met. Anything else, Mr. White?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Adams, how old are you?
26.
Miss Adams, I don't know. Young people will take anything. I spent my whole life not messing with that stuff because I don't know what's in it. I don't trust it. I don't want to be out of my mind. I just, they sell alcohol. That was enough for me in my party days. But consider, ma'am, that you don't always know what's out there. So you just taking stuff somebody give you, you running a big risk. That person who gave you that gummy talking about, hey, it's nothing in it. They didn't do the 5 days in jail that you did. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been on track, so get back on it. All right, you can
Your
go back
Honor.
with the sheriff's office.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
For Ms. Adams to report tomorrow morning at 9:30.
Did you hear that, Miss Adams?
Yes, ma'am.
9:30 report to probation tomorrow morning. Why is she hunching her shoulders like that's not possible?
She's concerned due to the fact that sometimes the jail takes a while to release people that she may not be able to make it if she's released later.
Well, if it's a reason because the jail didn't release you, as soon as they release you, you come over here and tell probation, even if that's after 9:30. But you should be released today, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes, ma'am.